their height from a residence. Jim Porter joins us now to tell us more about these proposed standards developed by the Vermont Department of Public Service Board. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So why these new rules? Why are they being proposed?
Well, so over the last several years, Vermont has really been at the forefront of renewable energy development. And so we've now had a track record of having some of these larger wind projects operational. And one of the things we've learned as we kind of move to phase 2 of these is that there are people who live in close proximity to these projects, and they are adversely affected by the noise generated from these. And so this rule that's being proposed by the Public Service Board, we think, is a very good step toward balancing for those people who do live close by to these projects.
What would you say to clean energy advocates that say this is really putting the nail in the coffin, and that around the country these projects are needed, especially in this time?
You know, I don't think that that's an accurate portrayal of what you just said. A couple of weeks ago, I was actually flying to Oregon, and for much of the flight, you see huge wind farms. You fly over them, and the one thing I noticed was that there are no structures anywhere near those wind farms. And so I think what these rules recognize in Vermont is that these things need to be cited such that they don't affect the nearby residences.
There's another component to this. Tell us about the waivers developers can apply for.
There's a waiver of as you referenced earlier, there's a setback requirement that's 10 times the height of the tower. And what we call the board has defined these as non-participating residences. And so any person who lives within close proximity or within that space, they have the ability to work with the developer, but the rules do protect someone who does not want to have to live with the noise.
It sounds like not all of these projects are going to be judged the same. Tell us about that.
Well, certainly this rule will be effective going forward for projects going forward. So existing projects are subject to the rules that were in place when they received their certificate of public good.
Quickly, the final hurdle, this still has to go before the legislature?
To the legislative committee, and I believe it's there now.
All right, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
A spate of 18